Hey y'all, Steve from Big League Circuits here. Just wanted to show you how to install this Jimmy Page style controls for your Les Paul type guitar. This is the packaging actually, so let's just open it up and show you what it looks like when you get it. The first thing you'll see in the box are the controls themselves, and underneath them a little bag of hardware. Just pull that out, set it aside, and a screwdriver. You're going to need all of this for the installation. First things first, the way that these controls are designed to work is you've got your three-way switch here. It's a normal pickup selector. Your neck volume control is it's a Bourne's potentiometer, but it's a push-pull style, so when you pull it out you split the neck humbucker. And the bridge volume is the same way. When you pull that out, it splits the bridge humbucker. And the neck tone control, aside from being a tone control, when you pull that out, the two humbuckers are going to be in series with each other, and when it's popped in, they're going to be in parallel like normal. And then finally, the bridge tone control, when you pop that out, you reverse the phase of the bridge humbucker. Anyhow, we're going to install this in this Epiphone Les Paul, and the first thing that you need to do is remove all these controls from this packaging plate. This plate is just here to keep it secure in the box, but you can keep it for your reference if you want, because it does also have instructions for how to use the controls, so maybe keep that in your guitar case or something. The neck volume control is this one up here, and this is kind of the brains of the operation. If you see, it's got a bunch of connectors on it, and it's got this screw terminal system up top. That's for installing your pickups. Now this system is completely solderless, meaning you can install it without the use of a soldering iron. And how you do that is starting with this screw terminal. Inside the control cavity of your guitar, you should have a bundle of wires for your neck pickup, one for your bridge pickup, and then this extra wire, which you probably have, is a grounding wire for the strings and the bridge. So keep that aside for now, and starting with the neck pickup, or I'm sorry, starting with the bridge pickup, make sure that you know the identity of the wires. In other words, you need to know which color of wire corresponds to which part of the pickup coil. There's, for a standard humbucker, you've got the starting of the south coil, the end of the south coil, the start of the north coil, and the end of the north coil. So you need to know which is which. Now I already know that with Epiphone pickups, the start of the south coil is always a black wire, and the end of the south coil is a green wire, and the end of the north is a white wire, and the start of the north is a red wire. So that's the order that we're going to install them. The first thing you want to do is, looking at this screw terminal, make sure that all of the wire catches here, all of the wire traps, are completely open. So use your screwdriver and just counterclockwise all the way until they're completely open. And then I'm going to start with the black wire. I'm going to go in the order that we discussed earlier. So black wire is the start of the south coil. That goes in the very first position here. Make sure you shove it in far enough that there's no bare wire exposed. These terminals are very close to each other, so if you've got bare wires exposed, it could easily cause a short. You don't want that to happen. The next wire is green, so green wire is the end of the south coil. And now the end of the north coil is a white one for Epiphones. That's the third position. And finally, the start of the north coil is the red wire. And that's the fourth position. Now this fifth one, the position in the middle, we're going to skip for now. And let's move on to the other four. This is for the neck pickup, and it's a mirror image of what you've already done. So we'll start with the red wire, followed by the white one, then the green one, then the black one. And don't forget to skip that middle terminal. We're going to use that later. Now once again, this is the color code that Epiphone uses. Your pickups, if they're not Epiphones or Gibsons, they might use a different color code, and you need to know which wire is which before you get started. So if you don't know, they're often printed in the instructions that come with your pickups when you buy them, or you can go to my website. I'll put a link on here somewhere that will direct you to a table where you can just kind of look up the standard color codes for your most popular guitar pickup manufacturers. And if your manufacturer is not featured on that, you can always call the manufacturer and ask them what their color code is. Or if you really want to, you're really feeling intrepid and you want to learn something, you can actually figure it out all on your own using a multimeter and a magnet or a compass. If you don't know how to do that, I actually have another video that explains that. I'll put a link to that one as well. Anyway, we've got all of our pickups installed now. We're going to get back to that middle terminal. The purpose of that one is that's just a big grounding site. So we can use it to ground our shield wires and that string ground, the bridge ground that we were talking about earlier. So we will take all three of those. These are a little long. I'm going to trim them real quick. All three of these ground wires, we can just twist them together, and we're going to put them in the middle terminal. They can share. Okay, this one's, I'll admit, can be a little tedious to squeeze in there. Once you get it all in there, make sure it's worth your time to go through and make sure that all of them are very tight and that none of them have any bare wires exposed and touching each other, because you don't want to deal with any shorts after you've installed it. Okay, so the next step, go to your hardware bag and pull out the jack. Here. Okay, so this one has two wires on it. Pull that out of the way. We'll feed it in this way. There we go. And then you can go ahead and screw that the nut and the washer down on the outside. There's the nut. All of this is in your hardware bag. And this hardware, by the way, is all The switch and the jack are high quality switchcraft, and your potentiometers are all Bourne's Pro Audio push-pull potentiometers. I go through the extra effort with every one of these that I make. When I get a shipment of potentiometers in, I go through and measure them all with my multimeter, and I match them in groups of 4 so that you have matching resistance within plus or minus 5% of each other versus the 20% that comes standard from Bourne's. Anyway, so now that you've got your jack in place, the next thing is you've just got this little plug right here. It plugs in to this bottom one, and you got to pay attention to the direction. They're designed to only go in one way. That way you don't accidentally reverse the polarity of your system. So you look closely at it, you'll see some little locking tabs, and just make sure that you have the tabs facing the right direction. It won't go in the wrong way. That's all you got to do to connect your jack. The next thing we want to do is probably feed your pickup selector switch through the routing channel. Again, this is a Les Paul style guitar, so the pickup selector switch goes up on the upper horn, so there's a very long wire to connect them together. So it's off camera here, I'm not going to adjust, but I'm feeding the wire through the control cavity on the upper horn for the pickup selector switch. And it should be popping out any second here. There it is. Okay, that's the pickup selector, and this will be installed. You can actually turn the neck volume control over right here, and you'll see that 3W stands for three-way. Okay, so it's marking the connectors for you. So once again, make sure you get the direction right, the polarity. I mean, it can only go in one way. And that takes care of your three-way. Very quick installation. And then we just add these other 3 controls in the same manner. So this is the bridge volume control. I'm going to do that one next. And by the way, if you ever need to identify these after you've removed them from the plate, right down there, oh wait, there it is, on the very bottom, you see that BV stands for bridge volume, and then way over here it says SPL, right there by my thumb. That stands for split, as in coil split. So this control functions as the bridge volume and as a coil splitter. It doesn't have wires attached yet, so you got to go back into the hardware bag. You'll find 3 cable assemblies in here. Now pay attention, because 2 of them have 6 wires and 1 of them has 5. So make sure you're using the right one. This is a 6 wire we need for this control. So grab one of your 6 wire cable assemblies and install it the same way you did on the neck volume. And then again, this is bridge volume, so you come over here. Bridge volume is, let's see, it's the coil split right there. So this one right here is your bridge volume control. And plug that one in as so. Easy peasy. Grab the next control. This one is bridge tone, and it needs a 6-wire assembly as well. Make sure we put it in the right direction. Make sure you hear it snap. That's how you know it's in place. And this is the phase switch. Goes right here. Okay, now we got one more, almost done. This is the one that has a 5-wire cable assembly. Again, getting the direction right, listening for that snap, and it goes in the last place here. Okay, so all of the controls talk to the neck volume control. So this neck volume control is kind of like the brains. It tells all the other controls what to do. It's the boss. Anyway, everything is wired now. You can now mount the controls into the guitar. Just pay attention to which one goes where. So let's see, we've got neck tone goes here, bridge volume goes here, and neck volume goes there, and your neck tone, or your bridge tone, goes there. We got them all in place. Now just kind of make sure that none of them are squashing the wires before you press them down into place. You don't want to pinch any wires when you wrench these in. But once they're in place, you can now turn the guitar over and use these washers and nuts to screw everything in place. Okay, so here we are with the front of the guitar. This is pretty simple. You just put a washer on each one of these controls. Now, by the way, these potentiometers all come with a 3/8 inch bushing. So if you are installing these into a Asian made guitar, they tend to have the wrong size holes for these potentiometers, and so you are going to have them drilled out because I can't supply the smaller potentiometers. Or the smaller bushings for the potentiometers. I think you'll like them better this way anyway. It's higher quality. Anyway, follow the washers up with the nuts. Finger tight for now. We'll come back later with a wrench and just tighten them down a little bit. You don't need them. You definitely don't need to crank these down. I got one hand kind of in the control cavity, holding the control steady as I tighten the nut. Okay, now make sure they're all in the in position. We'll grab our knobs. These controls come with the splined, a split shaft with an 18-tooth spline, knurled spline, so you don't need the kind of controls that have screws that go on the side. You can just use these standard ones. And what I do is twist the control, all of them in the fully counterclockwise position. That way you can get the numbers lined up right. And so fully counterclockwise is 0. So then you just put the knob on so that the 0 is pointing in the direction that you want it. Okay, and then make sure that it twists smoothly and that it pops up and down smoothly. We're going to orient all of these knobs so that 0 is pointing in the same direction. I like them kind of pointing up towards the bridge humbucker. Okay, there we are. Okay, now moving on to the three-way switch right up here. By the way, when you order these things, make sure you tell me what color you want the little lever on the switch to be. They come in in 4 colors: black, white, amber, and cream. Oh, and also if you have a contoured or a carved top like this one here, you know, where the top has this nice curvature to it, you're going to need a deep nut for your 3-way switch. So make sure you let me know that when you order it as well. And all these options appear on my website, by the way. When you go to order them, it'll ask you what color of knob you want and if you need a deep nut or not. If you have a flat top guitar, you won't need the deep nut. Finally, you take this little knob and you screw it on. Oh yeah, you always want to make sure that this thing's pointing the right way. You know, in order for it to behave normally, which is, this is neck and this is bridge, for it to behave that way, you have to have the wires, when you install this the switch, you have to have the wires pointing this way. If they're pointing this way and then curving around and going that way, then up's going to be down and down's going to be up. So make sure you spin it around before you tighten it around, or tighten it up. Anyway, this guitar is now ready. Well, we got to put the plates on the back, but this guitar will be ready to play. Anyway, I hope that this installation is as easy for you as it was for me. Enjoy, guys. Thanks. Talk to you later.